Christian Nationalism and Fascism. Christian Nationalism ReAwaken America Tour comes to South Florida May 12 to Trump Hotel. Nathan Emsall is an Episcopal priest and executive director of FayWhat America, which operates the mobile billboard touring opposite Mike Flynn's Reawaken America Tour. The Reawaken America Tour is an American far-right and Christian nationalist political protest movement launched in 2021. Its rallies have promoted a variety of right-wing and far-right conspiracy theories, including COVID-19 misinformation, Stop the Steal, and QAnon. The protesters go to City Hall hosting the event and join local clergy from all faiths, including rabbis and Muslim leaders. They stand with a mobile billboard that declares that the Reawaken Tour features the false prophets Jesus warned against. Those gathered didn't just speak for themselves, but for a national movement of Christians concerned with the hijacking of our faith. There's so much that has not only hijacked our faith, but hijacked scripture and weaponized it in so many different ways that it's a little refreshing to see that there are people who are willing to stand up and say, here we are, we're adding our voices to the cause. And I love the notion of reawakening. It's like we need to be reawoken to what is really important to us and what we're passionate about.
Mm-hmm. I bristle at the words Christian nationalism because there's no such thing.
Right.
Yeah. Nationalism is basically the worship of your country. Your country is the best. You are better because you just happen to land as part of it. And so it's nationalism is the nursery school of racism. Nationalism is the nursery school of xenophobia. And that has nothing to do now, if Christianity is an institution, well, institutions can do what they want to. They can be oppressive, they can be selfish, they can be greedy. So yes, maybe the Christian institution can be nationalized. But if it has anything to do with the prophet Jesus, who by the way wasn't Christian, neither was he a nationalist. Nationalism killed him, by the way.
Yes.
So I bristle at the term Christian nationalism because it is a bastardization of patriotism and a complete disregard for what Christianity is meant to be. Now, of course, it's evolved, and there's all kinds of Christianities. There was never just one Christian philosophy. But presumably, it has something to do with Jesus. And Jesus, who touched the untouchables and loved the unloved and spoke truth to power and risked and even gave his life for that cause. Something about generosity and love and reaching out to the margins and telling everyone they were children of God and they each had sacred value, that if that's the main character, you don't get to nationalism from that spot. Yeah. So I hate the term Christian nationalism, and I am terrified of the people who embrace it.
Include us set up for people who's in and who's out. And, and it divides immensely people as we are, the thing people often say when we are a Christian nation, we were founded on Christian principles and Christian doctrine, like some of our founding fathers were not all Christians. And so let's take a look about what you think that you know about the founding of America. But this whole notion really is scary. And pretty soon, I'm wondering if we're going to start seeing, like another country did many years ago, if we're just going to see flags with crosses on it, and just all over the world is the new symbol of a rising nation.
And we say the country was founded on the government. The Constitution was founded. The land already was here. People were already living on it in their own spirituality.
Yes, they did.
And it was Christian nationalism, or in that instance, imperialism. There's an imperialism that decimated the natives. And so, yeah, it's a violent philosophy. I wonder why Christian nationalism seems to be on the rise. It seems to be like the Christian nationalist seems to be sort of the chaplaincy for the far right movement, for the fascist-leaning, controlling elements of our society, that they're weaponizing Jesus for an agenda that does what nationalism does. It keeps people out. You're a threat. You're no good. You're not worthy. You shouldn't even be here. And somehow they have managed to get religion to be. But isn't that the way it's always was? The God golden glory of the Spanish. When they would come to the Americas and the Caribbean, and they would empire would force a new religion on you. Well, this is from internally. It's not imperialist, nationalistic, but it's the same thing where we are being defined by each group is being defined by the movement, diminished by the movement, and they want to erase us, that movement. But somehow they've decided that Jesus is their best weapon. And I can't believe that all the non-Jesus people, all the Jews, all the Wiccans, all the Sikhs, all the Buddhists, plus all the Christians who really do just admire Jesus. They're not, they just want to be a good person and make the world better. How we've let them get away with that. That they seem to control the narrative, and whatever we say is almost always in response to some foolishness they've said, because they somehow own the narrative.
Well, I think a piece of it also is, let me tell you what to be afraid of, and I'm going to tell you how much you should be afraid of it, the big bad whatever, and yet there's nothing there when you really get to it other than, let me raise money off of what I'm telling you to be afraid of, so that we can continue to push our political agenda, so that we can continue to push all these other things that we want people to be afraid of, and that separates us.
Right.
And fear is the objective, because one by one, the thing that they targeted, they attached their fear to, that eventually triumphs.
Oh,
There's just a new target, though. So whether it's the communist or the Muslims or the queers or the drag queens, you were scraping the bottom of the barrel when drag queens were the boogeyman for you. But it was illegal immigrants, it was refugees, there's always a thing. There's always a person, a group of people to hate.
Right.
And they'll never run out.
It's just simply meant to divide.
Yeah.
It truly is. It's simply meant to divide. If we can get this community to hate Muslims, if we can get this community to hate drag queens or trans folk or people of color or women, you've accomplished your goal. Yeah, you're really creating a huge divide.
Yeah. And in a place where you could say that, we're attacking this group, the trans or the drags, because of what it does to the children, then for God's sake, don't take them to Hooters.
Exactly.
If you're so concerned about your children being raised and they really want to, don't take them to Hooters.
Or let them watch television.
Or let them watch. Yeah. So there's so many things. That's why.
Or read the Bible.
Just divide and conquer. Yeah, read the Bible. So anyhow.
Yep.
Yeah. No, this idea that the prudery is so selective.
Right. Oh, yeah.
So not only is prudery just, silly anyway, but it's used, it's weaponized and used selectively. So now drag is just dirty.
Yeah.
Now, you may have some fake boobs or whatever, but mostly you are so padded, you have got so many layers on it, you couldn't show an ankle that didn't have 6 pairs of hose on it. Like this idea that it's dirty, you'll never see a more clothed up, layered up person in your life.
Yeah.
God bless them.
And the people, but here's the thing, because you don't have to know anything. The people most against it, I have never seen a drag show.
Yeah.
If you've seen one, you were entertained and not threatened by it.
Not even a little bit.
And if you saw one where there was children present, then they modified it for that.
Oh, yeah.
Because you'd have to.
Yes.
LGBTQ plus news is vital for our community and for the broader world as a whole. We have enough enemies at Fox News. Tucker, Sean, and Laura are loud. We need passionate allies. Happening Out television network, Queer News Tonight, and It's Happening Out are literally out of the closet and into the headlines. Our community needs your support. Like this broadcast and subscribe now to ensure the growth of the entire LGBTQ plus community.